So hi everybody, I'm Alex Chaudhry. I'm the art director on Othercide at Labo Crew, and I'm going to show you Othercide, a little quick demo here in GDC. So Othercide is a tactical turn-based game, dark and horror themed, and in this demo we're going to concentrate on the core combat in a small mission we prepared for you. So you can see we're going to lead those daughters against terrible monsters coming from the other side, and we are trying to prevent reality from shattering. So we have three classes: the Blade Master, who is a super high DPS character with a giant sword but no armor; the Shield Bearer, who is with a shield and spear, a bit tanky and control; and Soul Slinger, who is a gunfighter with special powers and support skills. So for this mission, I'm going to take a Blade Master and a Soul Slinger and directly jump into the demo. So Othercide is, I said, a dark-themed tactical turn-based. We are independent and trying to get something quite different from what we can see in the genre. And you can see when we're jumping in this universe, we are in a kind of ethereal world. Here you can see a lot of giant statues of plague cultists and plague doctors. The main villain of the game, the child, has been tortured by those guys, and he corrupted them so they become their minions. So one of the important things we can see now is this initiative sequence that you see there in this bar. We're not unlike some of the tactical games you can see in the genre. We are using not a your turn, my turn game, but initiative sequence giving you the order of who is going to play when. So my active character is right here in the left, and then the next character to play is here, and here you go until the end. And we can influence what's happening in this initiative bar with skills that can delay, interrupt, or modify the order of people playing. So since this demo is not scripted at all, I can really easily play and lose. So don't judge me for playing badly. I'm just the art director. I don't know all the rules of the game perfectly.
So is the game procedurally generated?
So there is some parts of procedural, like all the spawning and stuff, are depending on how advanced you are in the game. But the levels are handcrafted, so we get the most storytelling and lighting and beauty out of them. But the order of how you're displaying them and receiving them in your missions are very difficult. And it's very different from one to apart. So everything you're doing in the game, like moving, attacking, using your skill that you have here, is using your action points, and you have this 100 points of action points pool. So if I'm moving, I'm consuming some of my action points. If I go less than 50% of it, I will be pushed back at the end of my turn at 50 in the initiative sequence right here. But if I'm using more than that, I'll be pushed back at 100. So you have really to use perfectly your pool of action points. Since I don't know what the enemies are going to do, I'm going to wait and see how they're moving and then react on their actions. So this Void cultist right here, you can see he started to aim at me with his weapon. He's a ranged guy, and now you can see on my daughter, the Blade Master, there is this little marker that's here right here. And you can find this marker also in the initiative sequence. Basically, when this marker will be active, he's going to deliver a super powerful attack that can almost rip out my character in 1-2 shots. So I really have to deal very quickly to interrupt him and find a way to stop his attack. So since it's the Blade Master that's attacking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go directly in Meli. So I'm going to move up to him, so it takes me a part of my action points. And I'm going to use this skill, Imbued Blade. Imbued Blade is very powerful, but it's delayed. It means that I'm going to charge my attack, but it will be delivered in 20 points of action. So you can see here this little icon appeared. That's when the Imbued Blade is going to attack. There is a melee guy who is getting closer, and he is super deadly if he gets in very close range. So I'm going to try to delay him to be sure he's not going to attack me. So I have my Soul Slinger here, and she has very convenient powers like stat is round. If you see I'm aiming at the enemy, and you can see right down here, he's pushed back in the initiative sequence. So basically, I'm going to push him back, and he's not going to act right away. He'll act a little bit further down.
There's a lot to say about China, but this guy can have a lot of.
So now that he's pushed down, and I don't want to use too much of my action points, I'm going to try another power, Spirit Haste, which helps me to increase the initiative of my Blade Master, so she'll be able to act earlier, and I'll end my turn to be not pushed back too far in the initiative sequence. So the Heavy Strike was really deadly, and it destroyed the enemy in one attack. Plus, it of course interrupted his attack. But there is this second one who is coming in range, and he's going to do the same trick, trying to hit me down. So now I have two enemies really close to me. And the thing is, I see in the initiative sequence this little skull icon appearing. This is going to be an event in the level. Basically, it's going to be a new wave spawning and attacking me. So I'm going to try to handle the most possible my two enemies here before that happens. So I'm going to interrupt this enemy, pushing him back in the initiative sequence. So that's handled. And I'm going to try to get my Blade Master acting before the spawning, so I can have one turn before any enemies appearing. So hopefully that's going to help me to attack right directly this enemy with a lightning blade charge. And even if he has a good amount of dodging of 20% and I have a really bad karma, I'm going to try to do an attack. And that's the first time I really succeed. So, perfect. That's one down, and I can pass my turn and see who is going to spawn. So, like Spawn, our procedural, I don't know what kind of enemy is going to appear. So I hope it's going to be not too difficult for the demo itself. So let's go and see what appeared. So I have another Meli Plague Cultist here, so very dangerous in Meli. Another ranged one, so that I can control with my skills. And I have a Scavenger, so that's much a bigger problem. So the Scavenger is a small creature with not a lot of health points and very low defense, but he acts very often, so every 40 initiative points he's going to react and act again. So if he goes in melee range, I will be very bad position because it's going to attack continuously, like 3 or 4 attacks in a row. It's super dangerous for my characters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to end this guy the quickest possible. So I'm going to do some attacks to get him down as much as possible. And I'm going to try to intercept his attack and hoping he's going to attack the Blade Master. So now the Scavenger is moving himself. And of course he has a very high range, so he's getting really closer to us. Since my Blade Master has a good amount of dodging, I could escape this attack. Dodging here is a system where you have your initial points of dodging, and the more you're getting attacked, the more it's decreasing. So if you have an enemy with a very high level of dodge, like 100%, you'll never hit him. But if you chain your attacks, then you can decrease it until he gets hittable. So I'm going to do the same kind of trick and get him down very quickly with an imbued blade. So for now I'm not talking too much about the lore because in our game it's an emergent narrative game. So it's never pushed up front. The lore is disseminated everywhere in the environments, the texts, small little sequences that are hidden. Because what we like is that we can leave the players choose to either just play for the challenge or try to dig out the story. If you just do the game very upfront, you'll have a very small percentage of what's the whole lore. But if you dig out, it's like in a Dark Souls, you discover a huge story that's behind everything. So now this guy is in very melee with my little Sleuthslinger. So if I stay in this configuration here, he's going to attack me and really devastate my poor girl. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push back this enemy in the initiative sequence. And to make sure I'm not attacked, I'm going to evade with this Wrathful Rain attack. So you can see it's going to have an area of effect, and I'm going to choose a position where I can be evading as much as possible. It was a pretty fancy move. I almost use all my powers, but I'm going to do a shadow run. So this skill helps me if any ally misses an attack in my range, I'll do an additional shot. So now he's in melee range. He's trying to attack me, and he is going to be a very annoying attacker. So he's going to hit my character a lot. As you can see, our characters have those red scarves, and they're grayed out each time you're taking a hit. So I'm almost done with him, and he has no more dodge, so I'm just going to try to kill him really quickly. So now that he is down, my Blade Master don't have to tackle with him anymore. So I'm just going to try to interrupt this guy, preventing his massive shots.
Is there a penalty for leaving an engaged opponent?
No, we took off this attack of opportunity system, but we added it in skills where you can trigger this attack of opportunity, and so you decide when you want to use it. Because since the system had already a lot of interruptions and stuff, it was adding even more stuff that was stopping the flow of the game. But we have a system of flanking, so if you're attacking from the side or behind, you're doing much more damages. And when two characters are engaged, they're aggro and they're facing themselves. So it allows you to get in the back and attack with powerful powers. So what I'm going to do to finish this guy, I'm going to use Hail of Shards. So that's an attack over time, meaning she's going to activate it, and you're going to see the initiative sequence is going to be populated with icons here. Each time this icon is getting active, and he's going to be shelled with a lot of powerful blow attacks. I'm going to activate just Shattering Stance on my Blade Master, making if she's attacked, she will be performing a counter attack. And I'll just do one attack to get him quite down of HP. So now Hail of Shard is getting active, and I'm bombarding this poor enemy here. He's going to attack me, but I activated my counter attack, and I'm getting him down. And then the chaining continues. So I chained all my attacks in order to get him killed in almost one row. So I'm going to just finish this presentation showing you another point of our game. As I said, it's a very hard game. There is no healer in our roster here. And actually there's no way to heal with skills at all. And you can see my character, the Blade Master, is already quite wounded. So that's for permanent, and you have permanent death. So even if I go like I'm here in the menus of our skills, you can here see the skills that she has, and you can customize them with memories. But the most important thing is, how do I heal this character? Is there a way? And actually there's one in the Sacrifice Chamber. So if I go in the Sacrifice Chamber, I can select my wounded Blade Master, and the only way to heal her actually is to sacrifice another daughter to give her health back. And this is permanent also. So this system is very hardcore, but it gives you a very high emotion when you're getting in the late game, where you're just having your 3 last daughters or 4 last daughters, and all of them are very powerful, but you really love Cassandra, but she lost so much health. The only chance is to sacrifice another one. We have a memory, resource memory system that's linked to the strategic and display of missions. part that is not presented in this demo, but those resources allows you to germinate and create new daughters. Then you have a random set of stats, and you choose which class you want to attribute to her. And so it helps you to rebuild your team. We have a lot of roguelite systems, so even if it's very hard and punishment, you're always falling forward and always like getting stronger, and so it's never like unfair and you're losing everything from the beginning. And that's it. I think I gave you a good round of everything.
So when does the game come out, or what platforms will it be on?
So it's aiming for PC for now, and we're trying to finish it for 2019. So I know it's a very wide open window, but we want to craft it with passion as good as possible. So I prefer not to give a real firm date, but we're trying to end it before the end of 2019.
Any plans for Nintendo Switch or mobile?
So we know it would be super attractive, especially on Switch. So we're already thinking about portage on console and stuff. But for now, we're trying to do the best game and concentrate for PC, and we'll see afterwards.